Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. Um, I just had another video on. Sorry, I didn't even think about turning it off. Um, Welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and it is. Let me get that. There you go. It is February. No, March 1st, 2025. Thank God, because February was 28 days of hell. Um, I just uploaded. I'm uploading right now the decks I got in the month of February. This video is going to be the decks I used in February. People seem to like that as well. And I'm starting to not go by, you know, because before it was whatever I got in the month I used. Now I'm starting to go by, I'm deepening my practice a little bit, and it's whatever decks that I feel like using in that time instead of whatever I got just that's what I use. So, there's 2 months in a row I've done that different than I normally do, and it's kind of cool. I also decided to use, which I'm not going to do in March. For January, February, I decided to use one Oracle deck for everything. And the deck I used for February was the Seasons of the Witch in Bulk Oracle by Reputable Publishing. I don't know what it is. Probably because February is. I live in the Midwest, so February is our month of ice and snow and craziness. And I was all about the blue. Look at that. You could tell it's been used. I was all about the blue, and I'm just not even my favorite color. Like, but everything seemed to be blue or need to be blue, and I thought this was the perfect deck for February. January we got snow, but February is the deck where everything really just ices over and it's negative temperatures, and you're really in winter. And also it says Groundhog's Day is in February. This is the perfect deck, and Invoke is on February 1st. The perfect deck for the month of February. It worked well with every deck I paired it with this month or in the month, and I just thought it was fabulous. And so this is the one Oracle deck I used all month. Now, I will say a caveat. If I ever use, this is the decks I used, but this is only like the weekly decks I use. If I ever do like a mediumship video or a ancestor work video or a past lives video, I may not show those decks just because of the sheer amount of decks I use in those types of videos, because we'd be here all day on one video. So these are just decks I use per week, because I usually change my decks out per week. And this is starting this year was the first time I used one Oracle all month long for everything. So, and then I've started using my little journal here, which I literally only have like a couple things written in there for my weekly tarot practice that I'm doing. Also in the month, I have started doing where did I just put it? I've started doing a world event spread every single month, at the beginning of every month. This month, or February, because it's March 1st now, I used the Dreaming Way Tarot, which I edged, and I'm pretty sure I got this in December. And I just want to see how it worked out in a world event spread, and it was great. I think this is a very underrated deck. I know a lot of people talk about this deck, but they don't. I think it's underrated in the fact that you see people raving about this deck, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, now I see what they're talking about it. So you don't really know how fabulous this deck is until it's in hand, honestly. I do love it to pieces. I've already used a ton of it. I've used it a ton. But it was used in my world event spread for the month of February. And then I wanted to show you I've been using this Oracle deck, or, spirit animals, whatever, to pick out an animal for the month and kind of check in with that energy throughout the month. And so the card I drew was the mouse. And I'm not going to go into detail with it now, because when I do my card of the month, I'll get into detail with it. But that's, this deck is awesome. And it wasn't that expensive. I don't know why it like paused and then it's not playing now, the music. That's weird. It's like it ended and then now it's going to be on commercial. Hold on. Okay, I got it to work again. But I've been using that every month also. And like I said, when I do my card of the month, I'll get into more detail on that. So then for week 1, the deck I paired with my Invoke Oracle. I actually always use 2 tarot decks. I decided to use the Crow Tarot and the Wise Dog Tarot together, both by MJ Cullinane. Both of these are US Games decks. It doesn't have it on this one, but they're both US Games decks. So here we have the Wise Dog Tarot. For the spreads and stuff I do on a daily, I always use 2 tarot and an oracle deck. These are the backs. This deck is so freaking cute, but it has a darker quality to it. And as I said in my previous video, I'm uploading right now. I just got the Raven's Dream Prophecy, and while all of her decks have this darker, to me, quality to them, their new Raven's Dream Prophecy just seems way darker. And so I'm going to be using that in the coming week to really try to sit with it and figure out why. But this is the Wise Dog Tarot. It's so freaking cute. I didn't know it was so cute. And then I got it and I started working with it. And of course, because it is the Wise Dog Tarot and the Crow Tarot, and they're both by the same publisher, they worked fabulous together. So that was the Wise Dog. And then here we have the Crow Tarot. Real quick. I love this deck also. There's the backs. I'm not going to go into great detail on this because I feel like everybody has this deck. I was just late to the party. I didn't get it till middle or end of the year last year. And I'm like, what took you so long? Couldn't tell you. Actually, it was, I think, March of last year. I got this and the Wise Dog Tarot. So, it's been almost a year. And I barely used it. And then I used it in the first week of February. And I'm like, why haven't you used this more? It's fabulous. It reads well. You have this, she has this ability to make this art where you can communicate with the crows. And it's just, it's cool. So that was the Crow Tarot. And because I don't have as many decks as I should, I'm going to really quickly do a comparison. Not a comparison, but a side-by-side of these two. So here we have the Wise Dog Tarot and the Crow Tarot here. 7 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. The Sun and the 6 of Pentacles. Judgment and the Fool. But I do love how these two read together. The Chariot and the Star. And of course it's her older decks. And it's more in line with the same kind of art. Her earlier artwork. I just think they're beautiful together. So they paired well, very well together. Okay, moving on. So that was the Wise Dog Tarot and the Crow Tarot in week 1 of February, which we started February in 60-degree weather, and we're like, what is happening? And then it took a turn after week 1. Actually, the 5th of February, I think, we had a huge snow. No, that was January. Never mind. No, we didn't have a really big snow till like the 14th, around Valentine's Day. Yeah, we started getting snow and it really hadn't stopped till last week. We just had like one snowstorm over a 2 or 3 day period, and then we'd have like a 4 or 5 day respite, and there'd be like another 2 or 3 days of snow, and we're like, stop it! And it would be funny because during the snow period, it would be 20, 30 degrees, but then after the snow ended, it'd be negative temperatures, and we're like, no. So week 2, I have in my handy dandy notebook, we have, I've got them covered up, the Botan Tarot and the Yokai Tarot. Indie Mass Market. This is Los Scarabeo deck. Apparently it was at one point a indie. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. But this, so I bought the Yokai Tarot. I actually bought this first. I think. No, I bought the Yokai Tarot in January. And then this I bought in January, but it didn't come till February. So, but this is the Botan Tarot. They're both Japanese artwork. This deck is so freaking stunning. This is the second edition, or the second printing. It's so beautiful. So stunning. So stunning. And I was like, what can I pair with this? And then it hit me. I have to use the Yokai Tarot. I haven't used it yet. Because I didn't use it in the month of January when I bought it. And so it just sat there on the shelf staring at me, going, yeah, why haven't you used me yet? So I'm like, okay, we'll use you. So I bought this, it's almost like I bought them for each other. It's weird. But I do love Japanese artwork. I don't know why. I feel like it's a past life thing that hasn't come around yet. This is Yokai Tarot by Los Scarabeo. This is based on folklore, like fairy tales, and I don't want to say fairy tales. The deck of Japanese folklore, yeah. So this is really cool, and I think the images are cool. I think the coloring is cool. I think it's cool because this one has its own specific color palette, but so does the Botan Tarot also. Like, they both have a lot in common. Look at that Page of Wands. That's stunning. They're very beautiful together. And I'm just like, whoa, that's really cool. Really, really cool. And the readings I got with these two, just chef's kiss together, was phenomenal. Despite the fact that one's an Indian, one wasn't. They both have that undercurrent of the Japanese folklore, Japanese art, Japanese something that I find beautiful. So this is week 2, and I'm going to compare them here. Freaking chariot on top. That's my, let's move this tower out the way on this one. And pair these, show you these two together. The Two of Swords and the Chariot. And I think they're both, the color tones on them, even though they both have their own specific color palette, they're both toned down. So they're not just vibrant, out there images. The Hermit and the Six of Swords. The Moon and the Knight of Wands. The Two of Coins and the Queen of Cups. The Hanged One and the Nine of Cups. I just think they're beautiful together. The Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups. And I'm going to show these for a little bit longer, the Magician and the Ten of Swords, because week 3 come around. Week 2, we had snow days. I was off. I had doctor's appointments. I didn't use this deck in week 2 as much as I wanted to, this pairing. So I opted to use these two in week 3 also. So instead of using a new set of decks, I just used these because I felt they were unfairly Week 2, I was off for 2 days in the weeks, and the days I'm off, I don't do any tarot, any kind, anywhere. So they only got used a couple days in the whole week of the second week. Ace of Wands and the Four of Cups, the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. Look at all that fire between those two. Wow, beautiful. All that red. Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Two of Swords and the Nine of Coins. So yeah, I just thought they were fabulous. Queen of Coins and the Two of Wands. Ten of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Judgment and the Sun. Eight of Wands and the Five of Swords. Temperance and Three of Wands. Okay, one more. Eight of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So yeah, I just thought these were fabulous together. And then it made the yokai shut up because it was like, you haven't used me since you bought me. Why did you buy me? If you're not going to use me. And then it used it. And so, yeah, no, it's quiet now. So, and the Baton Tarot, of course, I could not use it. It was stunning. I was salivating for this deck. And I got it super cheap. It was fabulous. Worth every penny. It's an amazing deck. So that was week 2 and 3 of my February. Okay. So now we've rolled around to... We have all this extra work from our Alameda office in California at work. I want to crawl in a hole somewhere and disappear every day. I'm depressed. There's nothing but snow and ice I'm fighting every single day on my way to work. My arthritis has flared up really, really bad in the month of February because it's cold, as you know what. So I'm taking extra steps to try to feel better, which is none of it's working. So February was just a miserable, gray, blue, depressing month. And I was just like, no. By the time this last week rolled around, I had found a deck that I had been salivating over since my tarot journey started that has been $80 this whole time. I just happened to go on Etsy that day because it's only on Etsy. I'm sitting there just depressed. I'm like, oh, I want to buy myself a tarot deck because I deserve it. I've been working my butt off. I have not even been able to do my second job of door dashing because I've been busy with my real job, my other job, my regular muggle job. And I'm just like, I can't even think straight half the time. So I went on Etsy, and one, a deck I've been salivating over wanting since my tarot journey started in 2018, 2019 was half price. And that is the Birth of Freedom Tarot by Taroko Studios. This is the second deck I have of theirs. This was actually the secondary. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's stunning. It's nice. It's a thick mat, so it's hard to shuffle. It's like a rose petal finish mat, so it's very hard to shuffle. It's very peoply. This is Norman Rockwell. Oh my god, the Magician and the Fool on top again. I just did a video where it's on top, and maybe I didn't shuffle. But this is stunning. It's Norman Rockwell artwork. Look at this death card. I love it. And he's dressed like the flag. This is it could be a very political deck if you chose it to be. I feel like this is the, I believe I looked up his time frame of when he was actually doing art, and I believe this is the 20s era in this deck. But I freaking love it to pieces. I used it week 4. I'm like, I'm not going to put this down. As soon as I got it, did a walkthrough, I'm like, I can't put this down. I love it. And I used the crap out of it this past week. And it just made me, this and the next deck I'm going to show you, just gave me, I was still in the darker zone of February, but it gave me a little bit more color, if that makes any sense. So the next deck I paired with it, because I was thinking, what am I going to pair with this? What the hell am I going to pair with this very peoply deck? And then this deck was like, I'm here, very quietly, I'm here. And it was the Pensive Path Tarot. This is also an indie deck. I've had this for a while. It's a playing card cardstock, which I freaking love. You can tell it's been well loved, well loved. This is a workhorse deck for me. I've used the crap out of it for ancestor work. I've used it for mediumship work. I've used it for past life work. It works for so many things. Just like my stretch tarot, I could have used this with the other deck also. That with this other deck also. But I chose to use the Pensive Path because it was, when I got near my shelves, it just very quietly was like, how about me? And I'm like, wow, you would work. Because it's a very people-y deck. And I've already had some major moments with this deck, very mediumship readings with this deck that was just like, also opening up clairvoyant and seeing visions and things like that. So I thought this was a great pairing. And then when I actually paired them, I was like, yeah, they're great together. That being said, let's pair them real quick. And I'll show you what I mean by saying that being said. Let's shuffle these two now. The deck is harder to shuffle than the Pensive Path Tarot, the Birth of Freedom Tarot. There's so much white space, which is why I'm like, the messages and even the artwork kind of matches, but there is a drastic difference in the backgrounds. So here we have 5 of Pentacles and 9 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, 5 of Cups and the King of Wands, 8 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. I just think there's a lot of white space here that can take you out of the reading if you let it. Temperance and the 4 of Cups. Thankfully, the way I do my spreads, it's mixed in, so it doesn't, the white space doesn't overpower. Here we have the Devil, and again, I'm going to show you this Devil because it's a man and woman, and they're reading a... Okay, sorry, I had to pause it real quick, and it was on 22:22. That's weird. Anyway, this Devil is a man and woman reading a Ouija board. I love that. The Devil and the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles in this deck, I think it's the 7 of Cups in the Bone, Stone, and Earth Flesh Tarot. But it reminds me of this card. This is the 8 of Pentacles. But it almost feels like in both of those cards, like you're at a flea market, but it's an otherworldly flea market. Like it's a place that's connecting all these dimensions together, and you can sample wares from other dimensions. And I just thought that was interesting. But that paired with the Devil, interesting. 4 of Cups and the 6 of Swords, Queen of Wands and the Magician. I have more decks like this that could pair with this. I might do a video on pairing the Birth of Freedom. But I still feel like I now need a more political deck, which I don't do politics at all. Here we have Ace of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Interesting. The Hangman and the Queen of Swords. I love the yellows in here. The coloring in that matches. But I think I need a more political deck for this, and a deck that has white space as well. So now I'm going to be on the hunt for something like that. But I didn't buy this for the political aspect. I didn't realize that until I was doing my walkthrough. I love this deck because of the art. It's stunning. Page of Cups and the 3 of Wands. And I've done mediumship readings with this pairing, and it's fabulous. Knight of Cups and the Lovers, which is why I think I don't need all the white space. I mean, it doesn't matter once it's mixed in with other cards. So, Ace of Swords and the Queen of Wands on a spread on a table. 6 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. One more. King of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Okay, so that was week 4. My pairings of the decks I used in February. I think they were all fabulous. I don't know how I'm going to keep this, how if I'm going to keep this up, not how I'm going to keep it up, but if I'm going to keep it up. Just pairing all these different decks and doing different things with them. It does help me kind of keep track of what I'm doing and what I'm using. I don't really care if I keep track of that though, but I don't know what I'm saying. I do know that these decks that I got, these decks that I paired with this week were awesome. So yeah, that's all I got. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos, and y'all have a good night.